Your hallway is such a mess as always. Is it really so hard to keep it clean? The door wasn't even fully shut when she said it. It was 8:14 a.m. I was barefoot and she was already inside my house, her key turning in my lock like she owned the place. My name is Madison Harper. I've been married to Cole Whitaker for 3 years. And for 3 years, his mother, Patricia Whitaker, has treated our home like her personal inspection site. She doesn't knock, she doesn't text. She just unlocks the door and walks, and like she's checking into a hotel she paid for that morning. She stepped over my son's backpack, picked it up with 2 fingers, and exhaled like she discovered a biohazard. "I raised Cole better than this," she said softly, which somehow made it worse. Cole was already at the office. He always missed these little ambushes. I used to brush it off, tell myself she was just particular, organized, old school. But when she opened my kitchen drawer and rearranged my utensils without asking, and then added, "Some women just aren't built for managing a household," that's when I understood. She wasn't visiting. She was asserting territory. Patricia didn't start out this bold. At first it was help. Dropping off casseroles I didn't ask for. Folding laundry I hadn't finished. Texting cold pictures of my forgotten dishes in the sink while I was at the pediatrician with our son. Just trying to make things easier for you too. She'd say, lips tight with a smile that never reached her eyes. Cole used to shrug. "She means well. Maddie, that's just Mom. That's just Mom." Those 3 words became the soundtrack of my marriage. If she commented on my weight 2 months after giving birth, that's just Mom. If she showed up during our anniversary dinner and said she happened to be nearby, that's just Mom. And then the key happened. She claimed it was for emergencies. Cole handed it over without asking me. I remember watching the small brass copy disappear into her designer purse and feeling something tighten in my chest. After that, the drop-ins became routine. She'd water my plants, critique my pantry. Once she even timed how long it took me to answer the door when she knocked before using the key. But what I didn't realize was she wasn't just observing my home. She was building a case. I didn't understand what she was doing at first until the suggestions started turning into conversations I wasn't part of. One Sunday at dinner, Patricia leaned across the table and said, "Cole, sweetheart, have you thought about hiring someone to help Madison? She seems overwhelmed." I wasn't overwhelmed. I was juggling a toddler, freelance design clients, and a husband who traveled twice a month, but the way she said it, soft, concerned, maternal, made me look unstable. Cole hesitated. "I mean, if you're stressed, Maddie, we could talk about it." Stressed. That was the first crack. Then I found out she'd been texting him privately. Screenshots of minor messes, just keeping you informed. Photos of laundry baskets, crumbs on the counter, our son's toys mid-play. One message read, "I just worry about the baby's environment." The baby's environment. As if I were neglectful. The argument that followed wasn't explosive, it was worse. Come. Cole asking questions like he was gathering data. "Mom says you've seemed off lately." Off. That night I lay awake staring at the ceiling, replaying every visit, every glance, every note she left on the fridge. And then it hit me. She wasn't trying to embarrass me, she was trying to replace me. The humiliation didn't happen quietly. It happened at my own dinner table. Patricia insisted we host Sunday lunch for the whole family. Cousins, aunts, Cole's older brother, and his wife, 12 people total. I cooked for 2 days, cleaned until midnight, made sure the hallway was spotless. She arrived early, of course. White blazer, inspecting eyes. Everything was perfect, or so I thought. Halfway through dessert, Patricia tapped her glass with a fork. "I just want to say something," she began, smiling sweetly. "We all care about little Noah so much." My stomach dropped. She reached into her purse and pulled out printed photos of my house, laundry on a chair, toys on the floor, a sink with 2 unwashed mugs. "I've been concerned about the conditions," she said gently, "and I think we should discuss what's best for the baby." Silence swallowed the room. Cole didn't defend me. He just looked confused, processing. His aunt leaned toward me and whispered, "Honey, are you okay?" I realized then this wasn't gossip. This was documentation. And Patricia finished with one sentence that burned into my bones. "Sometimes love means stepping in when a mother can't cope." That was the moment she tried to take my son. And that was the moment I stopped crying. I didn't scream. I didn't defend myself. I stood up, excused myself politely, and walked into the bathroom. Then I locked the door and stared at my reflection until the shaking stopped. She wanted a reaction. Tears, anger, something she could label unstable. So I gave her nothing. That night after everyone left, Cole said, "Mom's just worried. Maybe we have been a little chaotic." Chaotic. I looked at him and realized something colder than anger. Patricia wasn't just collecting photos, she was shaping a narrative, a slow, careful story about me being unfit. So I started shaping one too. The next morning, I bought small security cameras, not hidden, visible. I installed a smart lock system. I scheduled a pediatric wellness check and asked the doctor detailed questions in writing. I began documenting everything, dates, times, comments, and then I did something Patricia would never expect. I called her. Sweet voice, calm tone. "I'd love for you to come by Thursday morning," I said. "Just you and me." She paused, curious, hooked, and for the first time in 4 years, I invited her in on purpose. Thursday morning, 9:03 a.m., right on time, Patricia's key turned in the lock. Except this time, it didn't. The smart system beeped, "Access denied." A pause, then the doorbell rang. I opened it slowly, smiling. "Oh, I updated the locks. Safety." Her eyes flickered just for a second. She stepped inside, scanning the hallway. Spotless, minimal, calm. The cameras were visible, but subtle. She noticed them. Of course she did. "I've been thinking about what you said at dinner." I began gently about concern. She folded her arms. "I only want what's best for Noah." "So, do I?" said, sliding a folder onto the kitchen table, pediatric reports, growth charts, vaccination records, a letter from my therapist confirming postpartum counseling, voluntarily attended, fully stable, her lips tightened. "And since we're documenting things," I continued, voice steady, "I thought you'd like to see this too." I tapped my phone. The living room TV lit up, clips from the security feed, her walking in unannounced, opening my mail, rearranging drawers, photographing my home. Time-stamped, dated, clear. For the first time, Patricia didn't look composed. She looked exposed, and I hadn't even shown her the final file yet. Patricia's voice came back sharp. "You recorded me in my own house?" I tilted my head slightly. "Yes." Cole walked in 10 minutes later. I had asked him to come home early. He stepped into a silence so thick it felt staged. The TV screen was still frozen on Patricia standing in my hallway taking photos of Noah's toys. Cole looked at her, then at me. "Mom, she recovered fast. I was documenting concerns. Any responsible grandmother would by unlocking our door without permission?" I asked quietly by building a case against me. Cole's face shifted. Confusion, then realization. I slid the final file across the table. A printed email draft addressed to a family attorney. Not sent, just saved. Subject line: custody consultation. Concerns regarding daughter-in-law. Her name, her signature, her plan. The room went very still. "I was protecting my grandson," she whispered. "No," I said. "Study now. You were preparing to remove his mother." Cole pushed his chair back slowly. "Mom, you're going to take our son?" And for the first time since I met her, Patricia didn't have a graceful answer, but I did, and I was finally ready to say it. "I'm filing a formal trespass notice," I said calmly. "And if you attempt to interfere with my parental rights again, I'll pursue harassment charges." The words didn't shake. My hands didn't tremble. Patricia stared at me like she was seeing a stranger. Cole looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. "You can't be serious," she whispered. "I'm very serious." I slid one final envelope across the table. Inside was a copy of the smart lock log. Every unauthorized entry attempt time-stamped along with a written statement from my pediatrician confirming Noah's healthy, stable home environment. "I have no intention of keeping you from your grandson." I continued evenly, "But you will respect boundaries. You will schedule visits, and you will never enter this home without invitation again." Cole finally spoke. "Mom, you went too far. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it was the first time he chose me." Patricia stood up slowly, dignity fraying at the edges. "You've turned my son against me." "No," I said softly. "You did that yourself." When the door closed behind her, the house felt different. Not cleaner, not quieter,